How many people came to school in the car? By show of hands, anyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Most people drive, right? And I'm pretty sure, without you guys knowing, as you drive, you guys are adapting to what's going around you. Whether it's other cars, the environment, if it's like raining, anything like that. So you always have to change. There's this quote that Huxley said, and it is, the only completely consistent people are the dead. If you don't adapt when you're driving, you'll soon become very consistent. But pretty much, like, this quote says to me that you need to adapt to become successful. And there's different ways you could adapt. There's different forms of adapting. One form, I should say, would be you have to be able to adapt to your opponent. If your opponent is doing something different, you have to know how to counteract them. If not, they're just going to destroy you. Like a good example would be in sports. If you're playing basketball, you're playing one-on-one with someone, you know that if they're coming at you left, if they always go left, then you should guard them on their left. You should be able to see what they're doing, and that way you'll be able to defend. That will be the best way to take them out of their comfort zone and be able to restrict what they do and then make mistakes. The other way that you could adapt would be adapting to what the public wants. Not too many people have the power to influence the masses, but there are some, like in politics, if you're running for president. If you guys didn't know, I'm pretty sure you guys know, politics always change. During the Great Depression, most people wanted the government to be very hands-on with people, making new programs and all that stuff. Because that's when like over 30% of people were out of jobs, and when the Great Depression, that's how people thought that was the only way to get out. But then recently with Bill Clinton, in his reign, everything was going good. The economy was good, and they wanted the government to be more, get away from it. Not help out, just let the market run itself pretty much. So if you're in politics and you're trying to become, like right now in our recession, people want the government to be very hands-on and helping everyone else, opening jobs and all that stuff. So if you try coming in right now and say, let the free market be free and no regulations, you're probably not going to win. You have to adapt to the situation going on right now. And there's another one that more of you guys will relate to. You know that you have different teachers. Each teacher has their own style of grading, the way they do their essays and all that stuff. So you have to be able to adapt to what that person wants in regards to your writing style. You might say the exact same thing, but you might have more visuals than anything, or maybe you want more statistics. Teachers are always different, and they make their own way that they think will get more credit. Depending on the teacher, you might get better in one grade if you do it their way. So pretty much you have to learn how to adapt to the teacher and find out what they want to do. So pretty much we have different ways. You have to be able to adapt to your opponent, knowing what they're doing and be able to counteract that equally to help you out. Another one would be able to adapt to the situation, to the masses, what they want and what's going on right now. And finally, be able to adapt to a certain person's style. If you're able to do all three, that'll become very successful later in life and all that stuff. But you have to be able to be willing to adapt, not stay focused on one specific thing, and be able to be diverse.
All right, George, the audience survey is okay at the beginning. You have a good interpretation of the quote. So it gives you something that you are talking about, that you're interested in talking about. there's not really any preview of what the content's going to be, but in the development of the supporting points, you do have 3 distinct ideas, and you've got some interesting examples on each of those ideas, so I thought that the content was nicely developed. You also did a good job signposting as you went through those points. Presentation, I think you need a little bit more energy in your voice and your demeanor, but it's paced very well, it's delivered fluidly, quite smoothly. You've got some good early gestures, a few indicators. I think your facial expressions are a little impassive. You need to be just a little bit more animated. You had very good eye contact with the audience. You are swaying a little bit while you're speaking. That's the one place that I think maybe some anxiety is coming out, or maybe that's just a way to give yourself some rhythm, but it does look a little awkward while you're speaking. I thought you had an excellent summary at the end, and you had a pretty good exit line also. So thank you.
Good job. Good job.